Welcome to the MLMsuccess.com podcast, the show designed to return the network marketing industry to its roots of personal growth, leadership development, and wisdom of the ages success principles. We share with you real success stories from real people that we hope will inspire and encourage you personally and help you progress forward in your business and your life. We believe if you build people, people will build the business. Now here is your host, who has been called the number one mind in network marketing, the MLM prophet, network marketing virtual mentor, and a host of other names that we will not mention because this is a family show. Frankly, he's just a small town guy that figured out that the real product in network marketing is people. Dale Calvert.
I don't know if there's a session of this podcast, MLMsuccess.com, that I've been more excited to share with our listeners than this particular session. It's titled, I Almost Made It My Whole Life by Jim Devault, who is from the Johnson, Tennessee area. I'm going to be honest, I've spent probably the last 20 minutes literally just crying. Thankful that I found it, and then listening to this, what you're getting ready to hear. Jim Devault is one of my favorite people in the world, and I know a lot of people that met him would say the same thing. The first time I ever met him, it was at a regional airport in Johnson City, Tennessee. We had actually flown in a private plane from Kentucky, stopped to pick him up, and Dr. Dan Moore in Johnson City, and we were doing a kickoff meeting in Charlotte, North Carolina that evening. And when I first met him, he appeared to be one of the most distrustful people I'd ever been around in my life. And he absolutely just drilled me with question after question, which I could handle because they were very thought-provoking, intelligent questions. And I had no idea at the time why he was doing this, but over time I obviously understood. But if you feel like you've worked hard at network marketing or other businesses or in your job, but you worked hard all your life and never quite made it, this session will speak to your heart. It's going to speak to your soul. And you have team members right now that desperately need to hear this. So I'm asking you guys, open your heart, open your mind, and don't just listen. Don't just listen, but hear the story of the one and only Jim Big Dog Devault.
Give me a break. Man, it's cool down here in South Carolina. Man, if you got a problem with being hot, I tell you, you need to get out of New Image, because we get hot everywhere we go. I don't care if it's snowing outside, okay? It's good to be back. I was trying to figure out this morning, I think it's been about 3.5 years since I've been here. First time I came here, we came to this building, didn't we, Sean? I didn't have a clue about what I'd gotten involved in. I mean, I didn't even suspect nothing. A lot of things have happened since then. A lot of things. Here's what I want to talk to you today. I kind of reflect back about my life, and it's just this simple. I almost made it. Lots of times during my life, I almost made it. Anybody feel that way? Well, see, I know you do. I'm just going to point out some stuff that I figured out about me. And it goes way back. It goes way back. I was telling Sean, any of you know about astrology? You know, it's kind of a novelty or something, you know. Everybody knows they're born under some kind of a sign, right? You know, I'm a Scorpio. by astrology, but I'd begin to think I'd been born under the sign of a fire hydrant. You know what I mean? I just want to share with you just a few items in my life and just some of the disappointments. And it started early on. I mean, it even started back when one little episode was back when I first started to school. I got put in school a year too early. And I was a little guy. Really, up to my teens, everybody says that knew me back when I was a boy, I willed my way to 6'4". My dad was 5'8", Mom was 5'5". Milkman took a rap for years. But I got involved in Boy Scouts. I was a good scout. I took it real serious. I really did. I worked hard at it. I worked real hard. I was 2 merit badges away from being an Eagle Scout, and I got moved out of my home at 14 years old. I had to be sent off to school. And there wasn't a scout troop anywhere near me, and I didn't get to be an Eagle Scout. I always regretted it. 2 badges away from it. What a letdown. If any of you in here have been a scout, and certainly if you've been an Eagle Scout, you got to know how much it hurts. Hurts me today. High school. See, due to getting moved around in school, I lost a year of school. I had to take my sophomore year in high school over again. Now, I will admit they weren't trying to get me to pass. They were just trying to get me to show up. That's why I had to. But the fact is, I lost my senior eligibility. I was quite a good basketball player. But since I lost my senior year of eligibility to play basketball, I didn't get a chance to get a scholarship to college. They had looked at me my junior year, but they figured this guy's too slow mentally to make the grade. Man, I was mad. Well, there was a small school in Tennessee wanted me anyway, dumb or not. And they got me in. I mean, really. I don't know who pulled the politics, but they got me in this school thinking I'd play ball for them. Well, my attitude then, hey, if I can't play for the University of Tennessee, I ain't going to play for nobody small. So I quit. 6 months later, I ended up in Vietnam, and I thought, boy, that was smart. But I always hate that I missed that opportunity. Well, I got back from Vietnam. I got married. You know, I was going to have it all. Well, I got involved in stock car racing. I'd always been involved with fast cars and stuff all my life. I love speed. So I got serious about it. Got pretty serious. In fact, I got serious enough where I was pretty good at what I was doing. I raced with Dale Earnhardt and Waltrip and all those old guys now. And I was well on my way. And I was also married then. And this didn't work out real good, racing cars and being married. I won't go into the whole story, but I left racing. I had a chance to drive a car. Actually, Harry Gant ended up, I don't know if any of you know Harry Gant, but he ended up getting the ride that I would sit in. Man, I hated I missed that opportunity. And marriage, I had one of them too. After 24 years and 9 months, it went south. Well, it went south a long time before that, but it really went south after 24 years. So I'm sitting here at 46 years old. I'm so broke I can't even pay attention. I'm driving a $15 car with a 2250 set of license tags on it and no gas and bald tires. I'm mad at the world. Well, let me ask you this question. Up to this point in my life, with just those disappointments, what do you think I've begun to expect? That's why I almost missed this opportunity. When Dan Moore called me about getting in this thing called New Image, I told him he was nuts. I didn't want anything to do with any kind of network marketing company. God, I almost missed this thing. The point I'm trying to make, guys, some of you guys, maybe it wasn't Boy Scouts, maybe it wasn't a stock car racing career, maybe it wasn't a marriage, but I know you all got a bunch of almost in your life. I know you do. I just happen not to believe in coincidences. See, I don't just believe you just landed here for no reason. I really believe that you are here for a reason. And I think it's up to you to do something with it. I almost didn't, but I finally did. Where would I be today if I wouldn't have, with some act of faith or whatever within me made me do it? Today I would be sitting around saying the world had dealt me wrong again. Thank God. I thank God every day. Whatever made me take the blinders off, I'm glad it happened. I mean, in 4.5 years, monetarily, I can't believe what's happened to me. Some of you may say, well, y'all talk an awful lot about money. Well, sometimes we do. They say money won't buy you happiness. Let me tell you, it'll make a good down payment. They say it won't solve your problems. I'll tell you right now, it'll help you solve them in style. And it won't buy you love, they say too, but I'll tell you one thing, it'll put you in a better bargaining position. See, here's the deal, we get what we expect. That's a fact. Some of you sitting there, you've been here a year. Some of you have been here 2 years. And you're really, really not expecting to do anything big with your life. You're really not. I used to think that way, I know. But I'm telling you now, it's time to start expecting something different. You'll start getting something different. Just the way it works. Here's the truth. Here's the real truth, you know. We always get what we expect. Look at where you are in your life. It ain't your neighbor's fault. You can blame it on your mother-in-law or whoever you want to. It's not their fault. It's that guy facing you in the mirror. You got to start expecting success. Repeat after me. I expect success. Man, wasn't that easy? See, all this is about just changing your mind. Fires me up. You got to start expecting the right stuff. Too many of you are looking at the past pictures. For years, I look back at the Boy Scouts. I look back at the marriage. I look back at everything bad. Well, no wonder I was getting nothing but bad. See, when I got a new image, here's what happened to me. This thing shook my soul. I plugged into doing the things that it took to be successful. And I didn't like it a minute, I'll tell you. I told Dale Calvert, I said, you think I got to write them reasons down? You think I'm that slow that I got to write them down? I know what I want. I had a real attitude. I got so sick of hearing this kid from Kentucky tell me what I need to do to be successful. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. But I gave in, see, and I wrote the reasons down. My first set of reasons, the first top 3. I did this deal. And I wrote down on there, I want me an SC400 Lexus. Now, that's something for a guy that's almost riding a jackass to ride down. But I wrote it down. I wrote down, I'm enjoying living in my new A-frame home on Boone Lake. Well, now, that's something when you just got off a cot out of the back of a candy store, 5 feet long and you're 6'4", that ain't a good night's sleep. But guess what happened to me? I wrote it down, arguing about it, but I wrote it down. I signed my contract with New Image in October the 30th, 1993. October the 31st, 1995, I moved into a $500,000 house on Boone Lake, and it was a chalet, by the way. And see, I don't tell you that to flatter you with what I've got. I don't care. I don't even need it now. But I'm telling you now, the reasons work. They work when you write them down. And by the way, I got that SC400 Lexus about 6 months before I bought the house. Don't tell me it doesn't work. And I expected it to work. See, I read Ron Nostra's Success, and I kicked the door off the hinges. I decided I was going to take some responsibility for me, and I was going to quit getting my thumb out of my mouth and get control of my life. And I'll tell you what, I've got a long way to go. But God, you wouldn't believe how far I've come. And it's because of New Image. And it's got the same thing here for you. It's here for the taking. It's here for the taking. It's an awesome, awesome place for you to be in your life. You got to expect the good stuff, and you'll get it. You'll get it. You must have it. You have to have it. When you expect it, you will get it. You really have to have faith. You don't just give it lip service. You know it's done. You got to do it. See, here's the deal. You're not any different than I am. Man, every one of you are created with all the greatness in the world in you. It's unreal what you got inside of you. Oh, I know some of you say, well, you can get up in front of people and talk. Listen, 5 years ago, I couldn't even face myself in the mirror to shave. So you need to expect. Only difference maybe in me and you is I've changed my mind. 4.5 years ago, I decided to start expecting. And boy, it's tough now. You know, sometimes we really fight success. It's like, please, Lord, keep me broke. Man, we're masters at that. Some of you don't want to know that, do you? But it's the truth. You're not getting what you came here to get. That person in the seat with you right now. That's the culprit. Okay? What we got here at New Image is special. And we got the people that know how to teach you. Y'all are blessed over here, man, with the leadership you got. You are blessed. See, a lot of you, I know how people think. I know. So I used to think Dale Calvert. I thought, man, he's got an attitude. Some of you think, boy, Sean's got an attitude. Let me tell you why he's got an attitude. He's value focused. He cares about what he's doing. He has taken responsibility with you people. What he teaches you, he takes very serious because it's going to be the difference in you succeeding and failing. Don't get mad when leadership tells you what you need to hear. I'll tell you now, I don't care if you're getting mad at me and run me out of here. What I care about you walking across the stage as a national director in a year, and you'll love me, okay? That's just the way it is with leadership. Who was it was talking about brain damage? Probably everybody. Didn't she do a great job, man? All these speakers today. Sometimes I'm out on the road doing meetings, and of course my leadership in Johnson City runs my meeting for me, you know. And sometimes they wait till I get out of town, they get a little rowdy. Y'all, I'll be glad to share you this. This is a picture of me with New Image brain damage if you'd like to see it. Okay? And see, you need to get New Image brain damage. You need to get this thing in your heart. You just need to let go and decide to do this thing. You need to make a real decision. Write down what you want. Probably over half of you right now, you ought to go home right now and just rewrite your reasons. Maybe all of you should. Be okay. So you need to get really serious here, and this thing is going to treat you very serious. But I challenge you. You need to do it now. I promise you. You know, you've heard us say time and time again here in 2 or 3 years, you're going to say one or two things. Glad I did or I wish I had. That's going to happen, okay? It is going to happen. Speak the words, I expect success. Speak. Is it that hard to get out? Have you all had that? Y'all had a tough week, haven't you? Get up and look yourself in the mirror every morning and tell yourself that every day. Get your self-talk where it needs to be. Do what it takes. It's a whole lot easier to be successful than it is mediocre. There's a whole lot less pain involved in it. There really is. Quit fighting it. You're here not by coincidence. You've been given this path to go down. Dale and I talked here a couple of months ago, and he shared with, he told me, he said, we talked about it before. Dale said, Jim, I said, Dale, why do these people get out here on a dirt road somewhere, man? He said, Jim, I don't know. They get to these paths and they just take the wrong one. Well, I told Dale, I said, man, I've been a master at that. I've been on a dirt road all my life. Making wrong decisions. Boy, isn't it great to know that God gave you the dignity of choice? You know? Isn't that great? And you've got the opportunity of a lifetime here. I hope you guys take it, because I certainly want to see you at the top. Y'all have a great day. Thanks.
The story you guys have just heard, Jim Devault, inspired tens of thousands of members on our team. I mean, everyone that ever heard it. Everything he said about giving me a hard time and with his reasons, and, you know, living on a cot in the back of his mom's candy shop, driving a $15 car, it's all true. I had the pleasure of visiting him, you know, a week or so after he bought his $500,000 home. And, you know, Jim also said during this session, I hope you heard it, he said, it's not about the money. The money doesn't mean anything to me. And I don't know if you caught that or not, but he understood that the thrill is in the journey. The thrill is in the journey. And granted, a lot of times we don't feel that until we've accomplished what we came for. And, you know, later in life, Jim and I kind of lost touch for many years. And then a couple of years ago, he called me just out of the blue. A mutual friend had given him my number. And I was so happy to listen to him and talk with him. And we spoke that first time for a couple of hours on the phone, laughing and crying about life, business, people. And at that time, he was in really, really bad health. He was on an oxygen machine and in a wheelchair. But during our conversation, he said, Dale, I'd give anything to speak on stage with you one more time. And I instantly said, then let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen. And I told him, I said, look, I'm booked to speak in an event in Atlanta in a couple months, and I'll come and get you, and we'll make it happen. And he told me, he said, no, I need a special van, you know, I need a special vehicle. And he was talking, and those of you that knew Jim and his deep voice, some of you knew him. He said, he told me that, you know, he had to have a special van. He said, if you're serious, man, he said, if you're serious, he said, you give me the date, and my wife will bring me up there. And he said, I'll take off my oxygen mask and let it rip. He said, I'll take off my oxygen mask and let it rip. And I knew that I said, I know you can, man. And anyway, I cleared it with the company that I was speaking for. And Jim and I talked several times over the next few weeks. And it was really like the gap in years had never occurred. It was great for me, and I think it was for him. And we had, you know, it was just, I look forward to our chats, And then about 10 days before the event, I called him to check in, and his wife answered the phone. And I said, "Hey, is Jim there?" And she said, "Dale, Jim died yesterday. Jim died yesterday." So, ladies and gentlemen, life is short. Life is short. I have no doubt that Jim knows that I had the opportunity to find this audio and now share it with people around the world. I have no doubt. Jim Devault is just another shining example of a life that can be changed when companies and field leaders develop a culture of personal responsibility, proper mindsets, overcoming limiting beliefs, and creating goals, reasons with the proper expectations of yourself. It's my sincere hope for many years in the future that network marketers around the world will be inspired by Jim's story. You probably know someone right now that will enjoy and benefit from what you've just heard in this session. I hope that you'll just take an extra minute and go ahead right now, and just share it with somebody. Thank you. God bless. We'll talk to you next week.
If you haven't gone over to iTunes yet and rated and left this podcast a review, what are you waiting for? At Calvert Marketing Group, we want to spend our time on the projects that we know are providing the most value for our clients and customers. You leaving us a review and feedback on iTunes is something that helps us more than you realize. And more importantly, it helps others like you find us. So if you've not taken the time to rate this podcast, please go over to iTunes and do that for us now. It will only take a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and we will be back next week with another inspiring success story, wisdom of the ages training, or answers to your questions.